Alright, I've pressed the streaming button.
Da, 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 da.
And I
Okay,
will go
we have a
and
view
take a
of
look at this.
the thing that we
All right,
are looking at.
everybody, talk. Do your sentence, and then let's go.
Testing, testing. This is should be the normal talking levels of this cast. Testing, testing.
And I'm going to take a little bit of different tact with my audio. I'm going to go. Ning, 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 ning.
Got to test that two-stroke out. Make sure it's still ready to go.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Until April, we sound good.
Oh my gosh.
We sound pretty good.
Hey, you guys, we're doing a podcast.
The first time in a long time.
How long has it been? It's been a while. Been a little bit. Did one in
Over a month.
February? Did we do one in February?
Yeah, I think so. If we did, it was really early February. I want to say it was end of January.
All
It's
right.
been less than a month.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
So, you guys, a lot of things have happened in the gaming world. The first article that I have up is EA canceling Anthem, but we have a whole bunch of other things that we can talk about. There was a Nintendo Direct, there was a Sony State of Play, there was an Outriders demo that we all played that we have thoughts on, and a few other things. I imagine we're going to be hopping around quite a bit, and I'm going to be pulling things up as we talk about them. Where do y'all wanna start? Y'all just want to start with EA and Anthem,
Yeah, might as well get it out of the way.
since that's the thing
Yep.
that's up.
Somber news.
Yep.
I think this is my most disappointing news of all our news, is this news. That
Yeah.
Agreed.
Bioware has officially shuttered the Anthem project as they no longer wish to allocate resources that would take away from what they say is Dragon Age and other pursuits, and they basically have finally put that last nail in the coffin. It's done.
Yeah.
It shall never be anything more than what the hype was.
It's really disappointing. The game had good bones if
Good bones.
you could connect the bones together into a skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
We
really
needed
sorry.
another year of development.
Yeah, it did. I feel really sorry for the devs that worked on all of these updates slowly and surely that will probably never see the light of day under an Anthem title.
I mean, yeah, I'd say their plight's probably the worst. Not only were they crunched to deliver a game in like 1/4 the time that they were supposed to because of management's, indecisiveness, then when they end up releasing what they did, you feel super bad. The company finally tells them, hey, you can actually get back to work on fixing this thing that you were supposed to have had time to develop in the first place. They get a good year or so into it, through the pandemic as well, and then uppers go, nah, sorry guys, we're done here. Like
Yeah.
that's super deflating, and I would not be surprised if at least a few people just say F it and walk away from BioWare to go to a different studio because of it.
Yeah, BioWare's had a lot of trials recently, but they have some titles coming out. I don't want to say soon. I think that would be jinxing it, but
They are developing.
Dragon Age 4, which they have recently announced is going to be entirely a single-player experience, which is, I think, is a good thing. The first two Dragon Ages were, and then Dragon Age Inquisition had a multiplayer component that wasn't core to the story, but it was more to push. They did this with the third Mass Effect too. I feel like they tacked that on to appease the EA gristmill money shredder.
Probably.
And
I mean, EA is responsible for destroying a lot of things or plaguing the things they touch, so
yeah.
couldn't doubt it.
Plague hands of EA.
But I'm glad that they said that it was going to be a single player only thing. That's about all EA and Bioware I've got. What do y'all got? What do y'all want to talk about? The world, the internet is yours.
Oof.
My fingertips are raring to bring up an article.
Do it.
Well, I need something to talk. All right, listen. I have the
Oh, I thought
state
you
of
had
play.
the list in front of you.
No,
Do
no,
it.
I'm
Hit
not
the
rolling
state
with
of
a
play
list.
then.
All right.
Hit the state of play then.
Okay. What did y'all think about it? Did you watch it?
I was unable to watch it.
You didn't watch
I
it?
did watch it.
I thought it was
I
great.
thought it was, yeah, I thought it was a really good state of play. The last one that we saw was maybe the last like Sony state of play. Was it the uh preview of Ghost of Tsushima? That's the last one that's coming to my mind.
God, I don't remember at
Um,
all.
I'm sure there was something in between, all of the PS5 announcement stuff and the release, but like the last actual state of play, like branded state of play I recall is the look into Anthem. So it was really nice to see um, new games appear in the state of play and then see some enhancements, or not enhancements, some evolution in some of the other games that we've been hearing about or seeing in the recent year. I'm thinking Five Nights at Freddy, a game that I'm not playing, but I noticed it was a different trailer this time, right?
Yeah, it
Showed more
was.
gameplay, showed more creepy animatronic things coming after you, ruining all of your Chuck E. Cheese moments. And I'm here for people who enjoy that. I also thought that Deathloop continues to be the most stylish game.
Listen.
Um,
I'm worried about the sales of Deathloop. It's
yeah.
gonna be an outstanding game. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Arcane has never done a bad job with their titles, but I don't think people are taking Deathloop seriously.
Well, this last trailer, which again I just have to like kudos and high fives and big ups to the department that put together that trailer because it looked fabulous. But
It's
it's the first time you actually got to see some gameplay elements outside of like your time looping thing,
uh-huh.
which is which is I think what you need to know. You need to know more about the game, I guess, at this point, right? So you got to see that the antagonist of the game, the female character, who I don't even know has been named yet, or if she has, I haven't, I don't know it. Um, she can shapeshift, or she can appear as other characters in the background,
Yeah.
right? Like I think that's really cool and something that you should know. Um, they also showed a new power for the protagonist, but I can't recall it right now. But it looks super cool. Um, and it's like, okay, so this is something else that I should know about the game. And I guess that's it because everything has been pushed back. 2020, crazy year for everyone, including the game industry. I get it. Um, I feel like at this point in time, with a launch window approaching, I feel like I should know more about this game, and I don't.
Yeah.
I should know more about how the game plays. I should know what the antagonist feature actually is. Is it another player coming to your game? Is it just you playing the opposite side of the story? Like I feel like I should know that by now, and I don't. And I think once that information gets out, it'll be more intriguing for players who want to buy it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what? We're just gonna have to wait for reviews? Is that where we're going with this?
I don't think so. I just feel like we should know more now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. You can't show your whole hand, though.
No, you can't show your whole hand, but you should know what what you are going to play, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Um, the one the there were two games of though that just like really caught my attention again outside of Deathloop's flashy awesomeness.
Their James
That
Bond
was
trailer.
Oh, it was so good. I was like, I would watch that anime. I would watch that show, right?
Yeah.
Um, it was Sifu and then Kina.
Yeah. Let me bring up Sifu first on the state of play here, and we can talk about it.
Arcadius, be prepared to be shocked at how
It's
awesome Sifu looks.
it's like, do you want to feel like John Wick through an entire corridor? Here it is. Kind of a game, and I'm totally down for it.
I will try to prepare myself, but it doesn't sound like I'm going to be no matter what.
It was a good trailer.
Yeah, it really was. I've got it on screen right now, and I'm not entirely sure like how this game is going to work out. Do you guys remember Absolver?
I do.
It kind of reminds me of Absolver a little bit,
Except for you have faces.
except for there are faces.
Oh, I see now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much John Wick stuff.
It looks really nice. I feel like stylization of video games has really taken center stage over being like photoreal and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I don't know if that would help or hurt the indie developers who make stylized video games, you know?
I don't know. I think at that point it's going to really boil down to preference, and a lot of people's preference simply hinges on who has the best graphics. But then again, that might not be the audience they're trying to cater to.
Well, stylization would make it so that you are going for an art style rather than how
the full realization type.
Yeah, so like who has the best
Like this
graphics?
game, Solar Ash.
Yeah. Who has the best graphics wouldn't necessarily be the largest selling point anymore, you know?
Well, I feel like it's always been that way, and that is the Nintendo philosophy that it's not always the pixel count and frame rate, although that's really important, or like the photorealism of graphics, as much as it's having a unique identifiable style that people can attach themselves to and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And sets it apart in an artistic manner, because game isn't just a technological achievement. It's also, for some people, it's also art.
Yeah, definitely. And it's working for Nintendo. It was the best-selling console of 2020. So, it's working for them. All right. Let's go back a little bit and talk about what is that game where you are an astronaut on a planet? It was like one of the first ones.
Oh, Returnal.
Yeah, Returnal. Are you still interested in this game at all?
I am interested in it in that it is the closest that we're going to have to a Metroid game for a while. And it feels like one part Metroid, one part what do you call it? The shooter, like the space shooter hell games.
Oh, like bullet hells?
A bullet hell game. Yeah, it feels like that, a bullet hell, and then
Deep space.
Like some kind of deep space alien, like the
I can
alien
see
film.
like some like Dead Space kind of stuff leaking in.
Dead Space, that's what it was, not Deep Space. Dead
and
Space.
Definitely some alien aesthetic in it, which is pretty cool. But let me tell you guys, I'm no longer interested in this game from this trailer that I'm showing right now.
Really?
I am no longer
you didn't like the
interested in this
monsters?
game. No, the monsters were great. The game looks outstanding. The gameplay looks fast and dynamic, and it looks like you're going to need skill to play. Here's the problem.
You're old.
in this, well, I'm getting there. In this trailer, they said one specific thing that completely stopped me cold in my tracks. And it's that every time you die, the dungeons reset and will be different. And you'll have to do it all again. Which means this is nothing more than a pretty looking roguelike. And
the grind could be a little more frustrating as a result.
I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't think either of us have really been fans of games that have sort of that no mercy tone when it comes to their gameplay.
Well, it's not so much as like a no mercy thing with me. It's just that like all this progress that you've made, aside from like intrinsically getting good at the game, is stripped away the minute you die, you know? Like there's no gain to any of it. It's like playing a game without a memory card.
Oof. All right, time out.
And you had to get to the checkpoint days.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I wanted you to play Hades, because I feel like Hades is a game that solved that problem, but we'll talk about that later. But I totally get that, because I don't actually enjoy roguelites either, and it wasn't until I played Hades and I saw how they used your hub world and their narrative system to let you enjoy progress through the story as you continue your game. It was just a really good give and take between, hey, you're starting over, but there's a purpose to it, and it's inherent to the story. It's built into it. So every time you come back, if you come back, you progress in these other areas, and they make the characters and the world around you interesting enough, at least in my opinion, that it was like no issue, and the next thing I know, it's 3 a.m. And I'm still
Well, it sounds like they
Hades.
succeeded then.
Yeah, but that was just me. But I can see that for this. I probably will try it. I don't think I have the skills. Returnal to me kind of looks like a Devil May Cry, in that I really like the Devil May Cry series. Like it had really stunning, flashy combat. Love it. But I just cannot play it well enough to play it. So I hope they have some kind of demo though, because I would like to try it, and then maybe fail on stream for everyone to see. And it'll be like Cupfell. It'll be like the Cupfell series.
Yeah. Boy, that was a long time ago. Holy hell.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks great.
It looks awesome.
They completely lost me with it being a roguelike. So, better luck next time, you guys, with getting my however much money you're going to ask for this game. Hope it's not very much, because roguelikes blow. But, what else do y'all want to talk about? There's Solar Ash. I don't know how much there is to talk about that. There is Kina. I think I'm going to go past Oddworld, because none of us are really interested in that.
No, that game just makes me sad.
Yeah, all your friends die and stuff. In horrible ways.
All your friends die in horrible ways.
Yeah,
I'm trying to save these people and they die. I feel guilty just thinking about it. Yeah. I can't save everyone.
It's like Fancy Lemmings. That's the game.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got the Kina trailer up right now on screen from the State of Play. And it looks really good. I'm very interested in this game.
Yeah, it already has my vote for whatever year is coming out. It is one of my contenders. As far as art style. Like art style wise and like graphics, it's just a really beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
Like the color palettes, the character design, the world design, the down to the shrines and how the temples look, or in the village looks and the forest around it. It just looks so dang good.
Was this the same game that they showed earlier where like there were like 5 people that walked up to this pile of stuff and did a ritual that resurrected some like wood beast or something like that? Do you remember that trailer that I'm talking about?
I remember something like that, and but I think it was like 3 kids. Whoa, no. Oh gosh, what is that? The game I think you're talking about is like a Xbox exclusive game, um, called like Emissary or
Maybe.
something.
Okay.
I don't recollect it.
I
It,
don't remember the name. If it's not this game, it's the one that I'm thinking about because I very clearly see that in my head.
yeah.
Now I gotta go look it up. Anyway,
Yeah,
continue.
go for it. Kena really reminds me of the way um, games used to play, like Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that, where like you had an area, it was filled with bad guys, and there was a lot of stuff going on screen, and you could, run around and shoot all your stuff, and even like the camera movements and the way you could like move it oriented to bad guys and all that junk reminds me of like old school Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, that kind of thing. I'm down for it. I think we need more of those games, honestly.
I do too. And if this is the next successor of that style of action adventure game with like a little bit of platforming elements here and there, I am down for it.
Yeah, me too.
I think at this point we're just down to play just about any new game. This has been quite a bit of a dry spell for games.
Hmm. Was there anything else in the state of play that caught your attention? Because I've named mine. Oh, actually, I didn't name all of them.
Oh, I want to
The
bring up
final,
Final Fantasy VII.
yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake Ultra, or whatever it's
Oh
called.
yeah, the remake of the
Interception,
remake, Interchange Lude,
Intercore.
whatever. All right, Final Fantasy VII. They're remaking it episodically, right? They're devoting a lot of resources to this, and now they've got a spin-off Final Fantasy VII game that features a pair of ninjas in the Final
So,
Fantasy VII world that look
so
like
did
they
you
belong in Monster Hunter.
did you ever have you played Final Fantasy VII?
No.
Okay,
No.
so what they've done is this is just upgraded final the upgraded version for PS5, but to sell you on it, they have also included a new interlude featuring one of the main characters from the original series, which is Yuffie. She's the ninja character. Um and this is supposed to be, I guess, what was going on with her during Cloud's introduction into the game and what she was doing and how they eventually come together, which I think
Okay.
is really interesting. It's another show of how much Square is investing into the series by adding a whole new original sequence featuring a fan favorite character into the game. And then the other guy who's with her, I guess he's a soldier, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea who he is. But like expanding these characters and the roles and just giving you more of them makes me so excited. Um, when and now I'm just like, are they going to do something like this for, you know, all the characters that were missing from the first part? Like, are we going to have a Vincent interlude? Are we going to have a Sid interlude? Are we going to play as Red X, or is it X13? I forget. Are we going to just play as him in an interlude? So they kind of did this for Final Fantasy 15. And I
With
enjoyed it.
like
I'm
all
glad
those
that they,
episodes, right? Like
yeah, with all those episodes like Ignis and
Gladiolus.
Gladiolus, and they did one for the bad guy whose name is escaping me right
Prompto.
now.
They did one for
I
Prompto,
hate
and then
Prompto so much.
Prompto, and then they did the guy with the hats, Hobo-san. Like what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that guy.
I loved him.
Jasmine said the character's name is Red 13.
Thank you.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, so I'm glad that they taken that and are incorporating into this. I was really worried about the, I don't want to say quality, but like the m- time and content to money investment that we would receive if they're splitting up the game this much. But if
Yeah.
they are honestly adding this much uh, additional story and storylines and character and just building out the world that they created, what, 20 something years ago,
Mm-hmm.
almost 30 years ago. Um, One is, I think, a huge luxury for those, and like a deserved luxury for those people who created it. Like, how amazing is it that your IP, like your hard work and your talent is, has withstand the test of time, and people still want more of it, and you're able to give it to them. Like, I think that's amazing. Um, but also, yeah, I wouldn't feel bad about purchasing the next part of this game if they're supporting it this much.
Okay, well, how do you feel about them remaking the remake for PlayStation 5 and all that goofiness that they're talking about?
Well, I think it's just well, if you purchase it for PS4, like it's a
It's a free upgrade, right?
it's a free upgrade.
Well, that's nice.
Um so I think that's fine, and it's really just a graphics overhaul. It's really like a remastering of the remaster.
You mean a remaster of the remake?
Yeah.
A remaster of the remake.
Yeah.
And if they needed to, if you know, I don't know like when exactly they started to make the remake, but if it were the earlier days of PS4, then yeah, it's something that they need to do for the PS5 because it wasn't created in tandem.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, totally. This is definitely a
It's
project
goofy,
that's
but
like taken a very, very long time. And it's very possible that this was in the works in the beginning of the PlayStation 4, life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just trying to keep up with the times, I suppose. Regardless, people are going to buy it. People look at Final Fantasy VII and it's like the best one. So I don't think they're
And
going to
they
be
are.
like skimping on money or anything.
No, I don't either. But I'm sitting here like, are they gonna do a 13 remake? Not 13. Not 13. That's the
12?
wrong one. I'm sorry.
You mean 12?
12. Yeah,
Oh
12 is
man.
my favorite.
So I just bought when PSN had the sale. What was it? A year ago? They had a sale on Final Fantasy 12 remastered, and I bought it together.
I mean, we started it at the same time because I remember us like Scorch is your first time playing it, right?
Final Fantasy 12? No, I had Final Fantasy 12.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
But I remember the best part they added to it was the 2x and 4x play speed.
Oh,
So when
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
grinding, it takes like a few minutes to do something that used to take you hours. Oh my gosh,
Like
yes.
literally all day, you would just run through the like 3 sets of
More
halls.
jungle. Yeah. Or the Lucian mines, or those little areas where you can farm all those goods for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff.
Oh
But
man, mining those bats in the early game for money.
oh yeah.
Yeah. The Garmore jungle, I think it is Galmore jungle for the pelts of those like octopus panther things.
Oh, the corals. Yeah, good
Corals,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are worth a lot of money, and their drop
Oh
rates
yeah.
are not that great. So I do a little 4x speed and I have all my little attacks on like automatic.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The gambits.
The gambit system.
Yeah, you set them up in the gambit slots. I just sit there and I just sprint through. I just do laps like vroom, 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 just doing Galmore jungle laps, and then I get enough to sell to get some new good items.
So this is me. I'm going to take a really quick, like, sideways step. But one of the things that I like about Square Enix is how they seem to incorporate ideas and technologies from the different teams into the games as they progress. And so you could tell with Final Fantasy 12 that part of it was inspired by or designed with the team who was doing like what was 11 the first MMO?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so and that kind of carried over, and then some of the combat system in 15 clearly heavily inspired by like Kingdom Hearts, whether you like it or not, the action combat. It
And
is a very good
13.
action, and 13. Whether you like the active combat system is here or there, but it is a solid action
I remember a
based
lot of people
RPG
dogged
system.
13 because it was so linear, like you only really had one path and you were just kind of a part of the story, but I actually rather liked that. So, different strokes for different folks.
Whatever.
But I bring that up because this is something I didn't say when we were talking about Anthem. I want, I sincerely hope that the Anthem team and the Mass Effect team, or even the KOTOR team, or something, pulls in that flight mechanic some kind of way. I don't care if I just have to be a jet trooper and I get to fly like that again. Like that would be amazing. Please, if anyone is listening to this, take that flight mechanic and shoehorn it into the game.
Or just about any other game moving forward.
hmm
Well, sadly, I'm gonna see if I can find an article on it while I set this seed and watch it sprout like wildfire, because there's plenty of tinder with this. EA canceled another Star Wars game.
Really?
Uh,
How recently?
like the last 2 weeks.
Oh.
It was what EA was it EA Motive? February 24th. It was their open world one. Battlefront spin-off. I don't know if this is it. 24th would have been 4 days ago. It was shutting down developer Visceral Games. That's what it was.
Was this the one that was supposed to be like Knights of the Republic?
No, I think they're remaking Knights of the Old Republic, but that's just hearsay. Yeah, so EA announced it was shutting down developer Visceral Games and canceling the studio's single-player Star Wars game that was just called Project Ragtag. The project was then transferred to EA Vancouver, but that developer's open-world Star Wars game was canceled too. So they're compounding cancels on cancels on cancels, as well as closing down Visceral Games, which made Dead Space. So, man, they're...
Well, that's about enough of that then.
Oh,
I'll bring up another article just to say this is a article on Screen Rant, published about a month ago, and it says the nail in the coffin was actually Battlefront Hardline, as Hardline's development started suffering. Members of Visceral's team were forced to help out.
Yeah.
Lack of development time along with low morale at the studio ultimately resulted in the project being scrapped.
Listen, why would you buy a Battlefield game about cops and robbers? That's not what Battlefield's about. That's what Battlefield Hardline was all about. They made an entire game about cops and robbers.
Was that supposed to be their answer to Rainbow Six Siege?
I want to say that Hardline came out before Siege. I don't think it was like...
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, Hardline came out pretty well before Siege.
Yeah, that was still when I was paying attention to Russian Badger, and he was talking about Hardline way before he got into Siege, so...
Well, it just goes back to show what I have said, and we have mentioned many times before, that EA has been a terrible steward to the Star Wars franchise, and
or just about any property they touch.
Well, any property, but especially something that should be such an easy moneymaker, right?
Yeah.
Should be
such an easy moneymaker. And I don't mean like, poor quality, because they've done that too. I mean just if you give the people who are developing it the time and space to make a great game, they're going to do it, because most people have really good feelings about the the property, right? They want to leave their mark. They want to make an amazing game.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, EA's just like, yeah, but we don't care because you're not making FIFA money. Where's my billion? Where's my billion?
Look, we have
And
this
so,
thing that shows that we can just print money from video games. How come you can't make a game that just prints money?
Why aren't you just printing money?
mm-hmm,
And we need it
Oh my
by
gosh.
yesterday, so you're canceled.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds
But it's
about like
been
EA.
3 days. Not too late, you're fired. Bye.
There's the door.
Frickin' EA. I don't know what goes on with their, you know,
No one does.
any of that,
They
but
don't know.
I think it's largely profit driven, and it's sad that they're trying to make a profit driven model off of artistic idea, because those two things don't really mesh. You know what I mean?
Well, I do, and I think I clearly am not a businesswoman. I do not have an MBA, but I just feel like there's a better way to do business where the creators are able to create and the business people are able to get the money to fund those creations in a timely manner. And for whatever reason, EA just can't do that.
Yeah.
And if you fund me, I will figure out a way to do it. Because that is my goal in life now. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah. We'll see. You know, one thing that you could do is you could just continually pitch Pokemon games until
Nice.
they make
Something sticks.
a feudal Pokemon game set in the Sinnoh region, which is what? Diamond and Pearl? Is it Diamond and Pearl? At any rate, that was a stupid segue into talking about Pokemon because they announced 2 new things. Was it part of the Nintendo Direct? I didn't watch the Nintendo Direct.
It was.
I saw the Pokemon stuff afterwards as like its own breakout thing.
Yeah. Well, because Pokemon is super special.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it was part
totally
of
is.
a week of announcement. It was a part of Nintendo's like announcement week.
Legends are, depending on what school of thought you are coming from, it's either Arceus or Arceus. So, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. But they are... Yeah. They are inevitably taking 60 more of my dollars to be disappointed at a kid's game. So...
Well, as long as you're giving out money in Nintendo or in the Pokemon announcement, they did show more footage for Pokemon Snap. If you are interested in that,
They still
taking you
made
back
another
to
one of
elementary
those?
school.
Yeah.
They
Oh my
remade
gosh.
Pokemon Snap.
That's so far back. That was on
Oh, yeah.
64.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. I still remember my cousin
Gosh.
getting that.
It was a big
Wow.
deal.
I
man.
He
remember
was,
my
like,
next door neighbor
in
getting
elementary
it.
school. So
Jeez.
there's that. They announced the remake of Diamond and Pearl, which they are calling a Stunning Diamond and Radiant Pearl, I believe,
Something
are
like
the
that.
new titles. I really like the art style that they've done, or the split art style that they've done, which is like a really bright 3D chibi-fied version of the overworld map, and then when you get into the Pokemon battle, it's the newer art style that's similar to what you see in Sword and Shield.
Yeah. I think it's cool. As long as hopefully they're sticking to the way Diamond and Pearl were, right? They're not making any huge changes to combat or anything
No,
like
I don't
that.
think they didn't mention anything like that. They just, it was a very broad overview, but they really just showed it as the combat, not the system evolving, but the graphics and the combat evolving.
Got you.
Um,
Jasmine is telling me that it is Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
There we go.
Johnny on the spot.
Yeah. She wanted us to talk about Pokemon since I asked what you guys wanted to talk about. So
So she's got this locked and loaded then
we
at
are,
her fingertips.
Yeah. We're
Oh,
rounding
goodness.
the corner here.
But that wasn't the biggest announcement. The
What-
biggest announcement was what you mentioned before, Pokemon Legends Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Legends Arceus or Arceus,
Mm-hmm.
GIF.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Which is
what? It's
a
an
Pokemon open world game.
It's an open world feudal Pokemon game. And
Dang.
the little Pokeballs are walnuts that have latches on them that are painted red halfway. They're not actually. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, I thought for a second we're gonna be hucking walnuts at Pokemon now. Okay, that was about to be a lot funnier, but okay.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
No,
Oof, okay.
that's what they look like to me. So, yeah, I'm gonna be playing this one. I probably am gonna pick up Diamond or Pearl also, but
Just
yeah,
to say you did.
I'm
finish it.
I'm at a Pokemon deficit that Sword and Shield did not do. It didn't do it for me because it was overwhelmingly easy for me. And
Was there a difficulty adjustment on it or not?
They're
no, there wasn't. It's hella kids game. So
Yeah, but still, I didn't know if they in some of the. I've not played Pokemon in ages, so I didn't know if they had subsettings when you start to adjust your difficulty.
yeah,
that is one thing I would like to take them to task too, especially after playing Tim. Then there's got to be a way for Nintendo to go back through and um, make that an all ages game, all ages, right?
yeah,
So it could be a little bit more difficult, or more difficult for the kids and all of us,
yeah,
because sometimes we still want a challenge, right?
definitely. The official full presentation. Jasmine just posted something in our chat, and I smirked because I have a little one up on what she said, which is rare because she is my Pokemon authority for everything. And Jasmine, I regret to inform you that the old school thing that they used to create Pokeballs is called an apricorn, not an acorn. Ha ha!
Well, zing!
But
There you go.
That's
There's your one.
yeah, I got it. It will never happen again.
On this day, the 28th of February.
Is it the 28th? It is the 28th. It's the last of February.
It is the
is.
28th.
It is. This is going to be the first week of March.
Oh boy.
It's my friend's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Becca! Hopefully I'll remember to tell you tomorrow.
Uh, what else do we want to talk about?
Let's see here. It's a short one-liner, but Daft Punk is no more after 20 some odd years of making that sweet, sweet dance music.
I actually have not watched their farewell video. So I'm gonna watch it right now. What is it called?
Sure. Epilogue, second one there.
Oh, okay. Boop. It's 5 minutes long?
Yeah.
7, 8
Again, a
minutes
lot
long?
of. Wait, I see a video there that says they reveal their faces as they quit, and that's not the video. So yeah, the first one is
Okay.
the one that's the one they released. If there's anything else beyond that, they did it after the fact.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't expect it to be 8 minutes long, so we can talk about other things as this goes
Yeah.
in the
But
background.
yeah.
But
just-
yeah,
that's
it was
pretty much it.
it was sad news. Congratulations for them for reaching this point in their career where they feel like they can retire. They've spent so many years making amazing music and vibes and inspiring people through their works. I am hellaciously sad that I will not that Disney will not fund another Daft Punk music video in the form of Tron 3. But I'm still
Yeah.
holding out hope because, man, I really loved that hour-and-a-half long Daft Punk music video. Um, Almost more than I did Interstellar 5555, um, which is what was it? What is the album? Aerodynamic?
Aerodynamic is a song.
I don't remember the name of the album right now. I'm just blanking on it. But yes,
Listen,
the one where all of the music videos for like One More Time and Crescendos.
Yeah.
That film. Yeah.
The film, yeah. I got into Daft Punk when like iTunes was a thing, so I don't remember album names. I just remember the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
lucky. That's a good one.
That's from Random Access Memories, which was post iTunes. Great album. I listened to it a couple of times over the weekend.
My first Daft Punk was like early ages of YouTube in someone's dorm and them saying, "Have you ever heard Around the World?" This is actually my old roommate when I was in New York, and I was like, "No, I've never listened to this before." And we watched music video for Around the World, and blew my mind. And then I'm sure we watched like Christopher Walken's video.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a Fatboy Slim video.
Yeah, the Fatboy Slim. But I'm sure we watched that next. But and then probably Tanuk. But yeah, that was my first time watching it, and it was amazing. And I've loved them ever since.
Yeah,
I really have.
Well, we can continue to love them. They haven't done anything worthy of them being kicked out of the public spotlight.
Oh no, it's more of it's a soft fade. It's not a shutting off of the lights type of thing. Like it's about the most like gentle bow out you can possibly have as far as something like this going down.
Yeah. And I was talking about this to Arcadius before, but Daft Punk has never been the subject of like any like domestic violence allegations or any like private disputes or anything like that. It's because they don't talk.
They only use a marquee emojis across their masks, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I could talk about their art for so much because it's not just music; it is like performance art as well, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
With them, and I love that Daft Punk is able to exist in a time where the technology could keep up with the ideas in the same way that I love Gorillaz the technology has been able to, is at a point where this type of concept is able to be built and then live on as its own thing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say everything all at once. The other thing that I saw on Twitter, and I wish I could remember who had said this, but it was something like they should have just shanghaied two other artists, and just put them in their mask so Daft Punk always lives on.
It's like the forever band. No one ever knows how old they are, and they just become like time and memorial.
It's oh my gosh, it's the modern ages Shakespeare conspiracy.
Yeah.
Well, the comment to that referred to The Princess Bride, and then they said then they would just become the Dread Pirate Robots, the Dread Pirate Roberts, and it's so much funnier when you read it, but it made me laugh. It really made me laugh.
Yeah. Well, since we're on an artistic kick right now, y'all want to talk about Avatar for a little bit?
Yeah.
The fact that they're the same studio that created Avatar: The Last Airbender is going to start making some Avatar shorts set in the world that I think is immediately after the Avatar series ends, to basically have life continuing on into the rebuilding era of before Legend of Korra, so in between those two series, I believe.
The thing that I heard was that Nickelodeon established a studio specifically for Avatar, and it is the same people that did The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, which is nice. And that the first project that they're working on is a movie, an animated movie.
Oh.
I didn't hear anything about the shorts, though.
Yeah, the article I read was that basically it's not necessarily, I don't think, going to be a series, like a whole new, Avatar series, but it seemed like, from the way it described it, that they were going to make successive shorts that, peered into the lives of all the characters and basically showing the results of their maturing through the original Avatar series that
Ooh.
showed.
Okay,
And
that's
It's like some
so,
cool.
OVAs.
yeah, yeah, that's probably a better way to say it. Is it's like Avatar OVAs. Now, I didn't know they were gonna open up with a bang and do a movie. So that I guess that's definitely one way to set it off. But they're going to do kind of a series of different little highlight episodes, if you will. And they did not say that it was going to be something like a full-blown series. It's going to be made up of different shorts that are interconnected via the original characters and cast.
That's
I
cool.
wonder, you remember the episode that they did for Mako? Or no, it was Tales of Ba Sing Se, and they just had a bunch of, like a couple of
Oh,
different shorts.
oh yeah, a whole bunch of shorts.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
like
Hmm.
So,
Appa's escape, and then like a
mhm.
day in the life of Uncle Iroh, and
Yeah.
Yes,
all
which
of
oh,
those.
the tears of that episode.
I know. I know.
So yeah, it's
It was
it's it's
hard.
basically it's going to be something like that. It's a series of shorts that covers how life continues on with all the characters after the defeat of the Fire Nation Lord at the end of the last series,
Ozai?
I
and
think
before yeah, Ozai, and before the Legend of Korra takes place.
Cool.
I
There,
think that's really good because if you didn't read any comics or anything like that, you probably weren't up on what was going on with the gang.
Yeah, I did not
Um,
actually know they made a full-blown comic series that extended all the way to Legend of Korra. So that actually might be what it is they're going to take all those comics and condense them into little bite-sized shorts that if you watched it, you'd understand like little points from some of the comics that probably get interjected in to string together these little shorts.
mhm.
I think it should
I
be
think
separate stories. So, like comics can exist in their own space with their own
Hmm.
storylines, and then the animation can exist in its own space with its own storylines.
well, I agree, and I'm also going to come in with like a left field take, and that is I'm really glad that the creators of this series, this very well beloved series, have that they are going to be able to protect their legacy this type of way. And it makes me even more concerned about whatever the hell Netflix is doing with their live action anime Avatar series,
Well,
right?
listen,
Because there was a big split
yeah,
between the creators and that. And so it's good to know that however I feel about that live action show, well, which will hopefully be better than how I felt about the live action film, um, I will have some new Avatar stuff to look forward to if this drops the ball.
yeah, definitely. But I was gonna say something else, and you beat me to the Netflix punch before I could. I
Hmm.
think this entire studio, I think the creation of this resurgence is all thanks to Netflix carrying The Last Airbender for that amount of time. And
Hmm.
the amount of revenue it generated turned the gigantic orange and blue head of Nickelodeon to see, oh, there's money in this. And
Ugh,
thus
Nickelodeon.
thus the studio was reborn.
There was money in it ages ago. They just effed everything up.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And other things happened, of course, that that, that no studios had control over, like when they lost that one animation studio that they were using, like went under, and like all this kind of stuff. There are
Right.
other extenuating circumstances, but they could have been printing Avatar paper forever, but they decided not to. Also, we did talk about this before, but I just want to bring it up. Like I was, on the Twitters and the Reddits and the Tumblrs and
Uh-huh.
social media pages, and seeing a new generation of people who had not seen Avatar before watch it for the first time and react to it
Yeah.
was really cool. It was honestly really cool. I couldn't be mad at the kids for not seeing it. I couldn't be mad at them before because they saw it now and they loved it. And I was like, yeah, that's the power of good art.
Yeah. Transcends generations and boundaries and all of that. Speaking of boundaries, Danny has yet to get any of our goodies. I don't know where it is.
Well, I mean, given
Oh.
the state of the postal service, I would imagine that. Well, it depends. What did you ship it via? FedEx or
No,
UPS?
I sent it via USPS International.
Okay, then get ready for it to take a while because they're under a lot of stress and fracture because of COVID.
Well, like the guy told me that it's probably going to be 3 to 5 weeks, and we're like approaching the very, very end of that. And
Yeah, I'd tack on some
Um,
more time if I were you.
like, oh my god, dude, that's a long time.
So
Mhm.
I sent a side note. I sent a birthday card to my mother like at the beginning of February. It was supposed to take 4 days, and it took 2.5 weeks to get there. So and that's from just like here to there. It ain't a long
Yeah.
distance.
You
You're
could
hucking this
literally
across the Pacific, so you best be ready for it to take a while.
that 2.5 week birthday card, you could have bought it at your city, signed it, driven home, and given it to her in a
In
day.
person and then driven back. Yeah, yeah. That could have happened. It could have truly happened that way.
Yeah, but well,
Yeah.
if we're on that subject, we also have more evidence that it'll take a long time. In that Vast's dice.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
I
Those took a while to get to where they were supposed to be going.
I ordered those for her to be shipped out on December 4th as a Christmas present. I thought they got 3 weeks. They can do it in 3 weeks.
No problems.
And it arrived a day before your birthday, Vast, or
The
something
day
like that.
before my birthday. Mhm.
Yeah.
In
Happy
January.
Christmas birthday.
So it was like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was forever.
Wow.
And
So-
to both Arcadius and Scorch's credit, I had no idea. I had no idea nothing was coming in the mail. Arcadius already had his. I was still waiting. I didn't know.
Well,
they're
so
really good
I
secret
did.
keepers.
I might have gotten mine around Christmas, but since I went home for the holidays, I didn't know till I got back
Yeah.
from holidays.
Ah.
Then I started going through my mail, and I'm like, "What the frick is this?" And I like open it up, and I'm like, "Holy shit! They're D&D dice." I was like, "Who did this? Who did this?"
Yeah.
Because there was no return address on it. It just said Kraken Dice, and I was like, "I'm sure they don't just send this stuff out for free." So
Yeah.
who did this?
No,
It was.
the way that it worked was that I ordered them all on the same day, right? To be shipped out to the various addresses. And I sat on the tracking information of each one. And yours, Arcadius, got to your mailbox
Was it on the 19th?
like 4 hours after you left to come home.
Ah!
And so I knew they'd arrived,
Oh,
and I
no.
decided I'm going to say nothing the entire time and just sit on it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I have to
That's
leave
good
early in the
secret
morning
keeping.
at like 6 o'clock in order to get home in one shot at a reasonable hour.
Yeah.
And our mail doesn't get delivered till about usually 2 in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It got delivered the same day you left, and yeah, you left
Gosh.
before.
Oh, timing.
Yep.
I want to take a quick minute though to reimagine this whole dice conversation because now when Arcadia said who did this, I suddenly envisioned this gigantic underground cavern with all the names of every nerd that's ever walked the earth written on the wall. And once they discovered D&D, their name lights up. And then this old weazened man walks forward and is like, their time has come. And then you receive your dice in the mail.
It's like a Hogwarts letter.
Yeah, except it's like
Basically.
a secret society style Hogwarts letter. Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
When
that's truly what I thought for a moment. I was like, who the frick sent me dice? And I'm trying to like sit there and actually think this through because beforehand we'd only just had like a couple sessions of D&D. Like, wasn't anything special like that to, we were just getting started. So
Yeah.
I was not expecting it. And yeah, for the longest time, like I sat there for about 5 minutes, like, who the F sent me dice? And I'm sitting there like mentally trying to run through it, and I was like, well, my friend's wife is a super D&D nerd. Did she send me dice? Like I had to like ask him. I was like, did y'all send me D&D dice? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, never mind. Ignore the fact I asked you that. And then and then I guess it had to come around. I was like, maybe Grace, maybe Scorch did. And then I asked it the next time I got online to play, and then it's like, yeah, I sent you dice. I was like, okay.
Well, you guys,
Yeah.
before we act like we are about to disappear from
True.
the two people that listen to us religiously, we have omitted an incredibly huge thing from our podcast, and that's the Outriders demo.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
let's
we
get some
have.
impressions going, guys.
Well, just in our short few hour playthrough that we had, it was quite enjoyable, I must say.
Oh yes.
Good times had by all, and it's only a demo.